August 1945. The world exhaled. After 6 long years, the most destructive war in human history was finally over. For Canada, a nation that had thrown its full weight into the Allied struggle, it was a moment of profound relief and burgeoning pride. Canada emerged from the Second World War with a vastly expanded industrial base, an achievement largely credited to figures like CD Howe, the Minister of Munitions and Supply, who was granted extensive powers to mobilize and regulate industry. This wartime engine, once dedicated to producing over 16,400 aircraft, 815,000 military vehicles and 410 merchant ships, was now retooled for peace. The result was an unprecedented economic boom that would last for nearly 2 decades. The war had dramatically altered perceptions of women's capabilities. Over 373,000 women worked in manufacturing at the peak of wartime employment, and more than 50,000 served in the military. They built aircraft, manufactured ammunition, and took on countless roles previously considered exclusive to men. The booming post-war economy created an urgent need for labor, prompting Canada to open its doors to a new wave of immigrants. While earlier policies had favored British and American immigrants, the post-war era saw a significant influx from war-torn Europe. Dutch, Italian, German, and later Hungarian refugees, after the 1956 uprising, were among the many who sought new lives in Canada. Fueled by unprecedented prosperity and the sheer numbers of the baby boom generation, a distinct teenager demographic emerged with its own culture and economic power. American popular culture, its music, movies, and television exerted a powerful influence, quickly spreading across the border thanks to new media and shared language. While mainstream Canada experienced unprecedented prosperity and progress, a starkly different reality persisted for Indigenous peoples. The devastating system of residential schools designed to assimilate Indigenous children and eradicate their cultures and languages continued to operate throughout this period, inflicting profound and lasting trauma. Another profound injustice that cast a long shadow over post-war Canada was the treatment of Japanese Canadians during World War II. Following Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor, approximately 22,000 Japanese Canadians, the majority of whom were Canadian-born Nisei, were forcibly removed from their homes in British Columbia. Their properties, homes, farms, businesses, and fishing boats were confiscated and sold off at drastically low prices, the proceeds often used to fund their own internment. The Second World War fundamentally altered Canada's place in the world. Building on the legislative independence granted by the Statute of Westminster in 1931, Canada emerged onto the post-war global stage with a newfound confidence and a more autonomous voice. The 15 years following the Second World War were a period of extraordinary transformation for Canada. The nation emerged from global conflict stronger, more industrialized, and more confident. An economic boom reshaped its cities and suburbs, and new waves of immigrants began to weave a more complex cultural tapestry. On the world stage, Canada found a distinct voice, championing multilateralism and peace.